A very good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. This is Trending News right here on Look Up TV, and we are coming to you live from our Look Up TV studios. Today being the World Mask Week. It is a World Mask Week, so are you wearing your mask in order to prevent yourself from contracting or rather giving others the COVID-19 virus? Talk to me. The SMS number is 20374 and tell me what's trending wherever you are at Look Up TV on Twitter, Look Up TV on Facebook. So many stories lined up for you in this bulletin today, but first, let's begin with the highlights. Ahead on Trending News today, fire in Kawangware Msalaba area raises down businesses. IABC kickstarts the Building Bridges Initiative BBI referendum process amid an ongoing legal battle at the court of appeal. In the international scene, death toll in South Africa riots rises to 72 as unrest rages across the country. And welcome to the broadcast. The Independent Elections and Boundaries Commission, IABC, has placed an advertisement in the local dailies calling traders to submit their tender request. This even as there's an ongoing legal battle at the Court of Appeal.
Has placed an advertisement in the local dailies calling traders to submit their tender request. This advert is a chance for traders to provide ballot papers for the general election and referendum. The electoral agency in the advertisement asks traders to forward their applications via email to the procurement department. IABC invites sealed tenders for the supply and delivery of ballot papers, register of voters, result declaration forms to be used in the polling stations, election and referendum result declaration forms to be used at the constituency, county and national tallying centers. This will be through a 3-year contract. The advert indicated that the election agency is preparing to hold the BBI referendum, even though the Court of Appeal did not read its verdict on the matter after the High Court declared the process null and void. Wangare Mwangi, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you for that story, Wangari. And moving on, the IMF has raised a red flag and put Kenya on high alert. It has sent a warning stipulating that Kenya should lower its targets if it seeks to continue receiving funds from the body.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is on Kenya's toes as the country is on the line to breach the set of inflation targets. Kenya inflation rate rose from 4.1% in September 2020 to 6.5% in June 2021, thus breaching the agreed condition of the maintaining a target of 5% with a plus or minus 2.5% so as to maintain price stability in the country. IMF says it has set a series of set dates at the end of June and December 2022 so to measure the rise or drop of inflation rates. IMF also in a statement noted the vulnerability of the financial sector to the risk posed by the laundering of corruption proceedings, and it has vowed to continue using anti-money laundering (AMF) measure to support anti-corruption efforts.
Thank you. And that report was prepared by Jefferson Mwai. Moving on, members of the Nairobi County Assembly spent 14.7 million shillings of undocumented rent payment. According to a new report by the Auditor General, the report shows that 53 of the 85 members of the Nairobi County Assembly operate from private offices whose rent payments were not approved by the Nairobi County Assembly. Waris Kimathi has more details.
Members of the Nairobi County Assembly spent 14.7 million shillings on undocumented rent payments, according to a new report by the Auditor General. In the report, Auditor General Nancy Gathungu says that the MCAs spent 14.7 million shillings to lease office spaces, but there were no documents to show the agreement between the MCAs and their purported landlords. Essentially, the payments were not formally approved by the Nairobi County Assembly. The Auditor General further noted that the expenditure was an improper charge to taxpayers, since the Nairobi MCA offices are supposed to be hosted in the Parliament buildings. The report revealed that 53 out of the 85 Nairobi MCAs conducted their official businesses from privately rented offices. In 2019, the Nairobi County devoted 400 million shillings to build new offices for MCAs and other county officials. 2 years later, in March this year, the plans were dropped and the MCAs received free cars from the executive instead. In its current annual budget, the Nairobi County government plans to spend 1.4 billion shillings in renovation of older offices. Waris Kimathi, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Right, and we continue. Interviews for the IABC commissioners entered day 6 today, with 3 applicants taking the hot seat to convince the panel of judges that they are suitable to fill the 3 slots that were left vacant after 4 commissioners resigned in 2017. The interviewees were taken to task to defend their suitability to be part of the commission, with most questions revolving around integrity and problem solving. Brian Moy now reports.
On day 6 of oral interviews, Dr. Joseph Nganga went first to demonstrate to the panel why he is most suited to fill one of the 4 vacancies of members of the IABC. Dr. Nganga, a former CEC member of the Kiambu County government, is a scientist with a background in education. Defending his suitability, Nganga said he has over 30 years of experience in teaching at the university and also has experience in research work and utility of such research to answer patent problems in Kenya. He added that he is a resilient person and trusts in God. Second candidate was Ms. Juliana Cherera from Mombasa County. Ms. Cherera currently works at the Mombasa County government. Her professional background is in education and management. The third candidate for today, Mr. Julius Kiplagat Rotich, is currently appearing before the selection panel for his oral interview on his suitability to fill one of the 4 vacancies. Mr. Rotich, who hails from Nandi County, is a lawyer. Is a land surveyor. Brian Amwai, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Brian Moy, for that report. Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company has stated that it will shut down the water supply pipeline along Uhuru Highway. This is due to the ongoing construction of the expressway. The shutting down of water will start at 6 a.m. on Thursday, 15th of July 2021 and to Friday, 16th of July 2021 at 6 a.m. CBD and JKA will be among the areas affected.
In a recent tweet, Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company have indicated that they will shut down the water supply pipeline in order to facilitate the interconnection of the relocated new and old water pipelines on Uhuru Highway. This will be between Haile Selassie Avenue and Bunyala Road junctions with Uhuru Highway. This will enable the release of the road corridor to the expressway road contractor. Areas to be affected include the whole of City Centre, areas along Mombasa Road, South B and South C areas of the neighbourhood, University of Nairobi main campus, Coca-Cola factory, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, EPZ Athi River, the whole of industrial area, areas along Jogoo Road including City Stadium, Maringo, Bahati, Buruburu and the surrounding estates. Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company has also urged their customers to use the available water sparingly as they work towards restoring the supply. The expressway that is being financed and constructed by the China Road and Bridge Corporation will link the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. According to Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia, the progress of the whole project is up to 33% by far. The Nairobi Expressway will comprise both a 4-lane and 6-lane dual carriageway with 10 interchanges, and according to Transport Secretary James Macharia, the highway will also carry 85% of all cargo and commuter traffic in surrounding areas. Roger Morioki, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Right, and we take a very short break, but before that, the World Mask Week is here. And I'd like you to talk to me using the SMS number 20374 and tell me, are you masking up? Are people around you masking up in efforts to end the COVID-19 virus? Are you wearing your mask on your chin? Are you wearing it when it's convenient, only when cops are around the corner? Talk to me and don't go too far.
Welcome to Look Up Guest House, Retreat and Prayer Center. When you first come in, we'll be happy to receive you at our reception, then proceed to our cozy and well-equipped accommodation facilities. We aim to provide our guests with a unique, comfortable, and worthwhile experience. Here at Lookup Guest House, we provide our guests with a continuous supply of room amenities. A cool environment for all your retreat activities.
Lookup Guest House Retreat and Prayer Center. For reservation, contact us on info@lookupguesthouse.org or call us on 0746 788 707.
You guys have to tweet about this. What phone is this? Hey, looks good. How much is it? You haven't heard of the Optiven offer? No. I must excuse you invest too. Optiven has this amazing offer. Make a commitment of 900k in any of their value-added projects. You get rewarded with a cool smartphone, bro.
When we call in a parent to come, would be for a discipline issue or any other issue. And we say, is this your child? Yes. Do you know? Yes. But when we sit down and discuss now real issues, the parent says, I don't know my child.
We, as parents, we are the eyes of our children. We are the ears of our children. In other words, we need to have a vision for our children.
Look at these children and identify their problems, identify their challenges, identify their struggles, and try to put yourself in their shoe and see the best way you can handle these struggles and the challenges, and now help them come out of those challenges.
Revival Sanctuary of Glory presents the 17th Burning Fire Conference from the 18th to the 25th of July at the Revival Sanctuary of Glory, Riruta, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The theme will be Recovery All, hosted by Bishop Dr. Ken and Mercy Ken, alongside guest speakers Apostle Patrick Mureithi, Bishop Julius Tinkoe, Reverend Dan Mwirigi, Pastor Baraka, and guest singer Naomi Karanja and Sarah Kay. For more information, call us on 0722 392 375.
Welcome to the Natural Juicing Center. We are a unique organization that seeks to provide the community with an alternative healthcare option. We specialize in the use of a natural holistic system that focuses on building health through cleansing and nourishing of the body. We utilize a variety of natural health promoting methods in our services, which include juicing therapy, hydrotherapy, colon cleansing, massage therapy, and a comprehensive cleansing service, among others. Our juices are freshly made and tailored to each and every client's individual needs after evaluation by our team through our free consultation service. You can now book for any service or order for food supplements on our website www.naturaljuicingcenter.co.ke. You can also visit our center in Kahawa Sukari, house number 1334, Kahawa Sukari Avenue. Natural Juicing Center. Your health is your wealth.
Like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Look Up TV. The hashtag is trending news at Look Up TV on Twitter and Look Up TV on Facebook. You can also talk to me. The SMS number is 20374. And since it's the World Mask Up Week, what are you doing about it? What are the efforts that you're putting in towards ending the COVID-19 virus? Let's move on with the bulletin. A timber workshop worth millions has been destroyed after a fire razed down the structure in Kawangware msalaba area in Nairobi on Wednesday. According to residents, no casualties were reported. The cause of the fire has not yet been established, but residents suspect it could have been caused by an electrical fault. The fire was contained almost an hour 30 minutes after it broke out. Police investigate the incident. The residents have decried poor response from the fire department and calls to improve the situation, and those affected in the incident have appealed for help to reconstruct the structures around. Right, and the World Health Organization has warned against mixing of various vaccines of COVID-19, inciting countries to stop the action as it is dangerous and risky. WHO says there is not enough information about mixing of vaccines, for every vaccine has different design type and genetic structure. And back home, the Cancer Task Force Management held a public hearing in Nairobi County seeking views from the public which would guide them in clinical reform initiatives. Our reporter Kid Gitonga with more information on the Health Roundup.
The announcement by the World Health Organization is a major setback for countries that have resorted into mixing vaccine products for the coronavirus owing to the limited supply crisis in parts of the world. Kenya is among the countries facing shortage of fresh supplies of the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. The crisis, occasioned by India's decision to stop exports of vaccines manufactured by Serum Institute of India, the world's largest vaccine maker, following a spike of cases in the country. The Ministry of Health is cautious about any possibility of purchasing any different vaccines to wreak the deficit of availability of vaccines. Countries such as Canada have gone ahead into mixing and matching the vaccines. Chief Scientist Dr. Swaminathan is giving a warning on mixing various COVID-19 vaccines, hence terming the trend dangerous and risky due to inadequate data about this act, for every vaccine has different design type and genetic structure.
Really want to caution folks, because there is a tendency now for people in countries with enough availability of vaccines to voluntarily start thinking about an additional dose. There are people who are thinking about mixing and matching. We receive a lot of queries from people who say they've taken one and they're planning to take another one. So it's a little bit of a dangerous trend here, where people are we're in a data-free, evidence-free zone as far as a mix and match. There is limited data on mix and match. There are studies going on. We need to wait for that, and maybe it will be a very good approach. But at the moment, we only have data on the AZ vaccine, Oxford AstraZeneca, followed by Pfizer. So it will be a chaotic situation in countries if citizens start, deciding when and who they should be taking a second or a third or a fourth dose.
At the same time, here in Kenya, the Cancer Task Force Management today held a public hearing in Meru County at the Kamundi Hall, Meru Coffee Union. This hearing sought views that will help in formulation of recommendations that will guide in clinical reform initiatives aimed at improving cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment in the country. Members of the task force engaged with key stakeholders drawn from the region that is among those with the highest cancer burden in the country. Those attending the forum called for the decentralization of cancer services by enhancing the capacity of sub-county hospitals. The participants included cancer survivors, whom called for increased access to medical care, arguing that equipping sub-county hospitals with adequate medicine and specialists will go a long way in containing the cancer problem. Keith Gitonga, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you. And now move on to the international scene. South African protest enters day 5 since it began after former South Africa President Jacob Zuma was arrested on corruption charges and later sentenced to jail for 15 months.
South African protests have entered the 5th day today. The unrest follows the arrest of former South African President Jacob Zuma. 72 people have so far been reported dead. The numbers are feared to rise as the protests are still ongoing. Properties worth millions of shillings have been destroyed and looted as police and the army have not been successful in quelling the violence owing to the large numbers of protesters. Over 800 South Africans were arrested in the running battles. The police minister of South Africa, Becky Cele, has urged South Africans to stop the violence and maintain peace. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has also raised concern on the matter and called for peace. The protests, which are alleged to be politically instigated, have the rest of the world condemning and the African Union calling for urgent restoration of order.
Thank you. Now we move on to some sporting action. The 2021 World Rally Championship Safari Rally winner Sebastian Ogier has announced that he will donate 20,000 euros, that is approximately 2.5 million, to support education and wildlife conservation in Kenya. Our reporter Ocheng Sylvian with more details.
The French rally driver revealed that he will donate 10,000 euros to support the education of the needy children at the Nakuru Children's Project. He also donated another 10,000 euros towards the conservation of wildlife at the Olepejeta Conservancy in Laikipia County. The Olepejeta Conservancy is a 360-kilometer square wildlife sanctuary located in Laikipia County, which works to conserve wildlife, provide a sanctuary for the great apes, and to generate income through the wildlife tourism and complementary enterprise for investment in conservation and community development. The Nakuru Children's Project is a non-profit making organization that focuses on relieving poverty and improving education for children in the county. Zoe Kellan, the co-founder and the head of the mobilization of the Nakuru Children's Project, lauded the move. During the World Rally Championship in Naivasha last month, Oji and his co-driver Julian emerged the overall winner and were awarded the trophy by President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta and other leaders were among thousands of Kenya motorsport enthusiasts who turned up for the spectacular WRC Safari Rally, which was marking a return to Kenya after a 19-year break. Uching Sylvian, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Sylvian. And that report brings us to a close here on Trending News. But what would Trending News be if we didn't read what's trending around the country? And I'll be checking out Twitter. At number 1, we have Mutahi Ngunyi. Now, this follows his house burning down last night. Mutahi Ngunyi is a political analyst and also the founder and owner of Fifth Estate television station. And of course, there's also Kiambaa trending, and Kiambaa is trending. Kiambaa elections are slated for tomorrow, as well as Kiambaa, because Mutahi Ngunyi alluded to the fact that Kiambaa burnt down in 2007, the Kiambaa in Rift Valley, and now his house has burnt down just when he had spoken about the burning of the Kiambaa church in 2007. So those are his sentiments. And of course, what else is trending? Fee must fall. This is following the protest by students from the University of Nairobi, as well as the KMPDU, who joined the students in the protest. And of course, the fee has been increased, doubled in some courses and some schools. And of course, they have been protesting and demanding for the lowering of their school fees. And IABC is also trending. Of course, the commissioners are being interviewed at the KICC. This being the 6th day of the interviews, and so the search for the 4 commissioners. Remember, the commissioners resigned in 2017 after the general elections within that time, and so the search is on. And also because the IABC has posted that they are looking for people for tenders for the BBI referendum, even while the court proceedings are still ongoing for the BBI hearing, which will be given the report that is in August, as they had mentioned. That is what's trending around Kenya and the rest of the world as well. I am Nancy Nalima. Thank you for watching. The hashtag is Trending News. Goodbye for now.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to views@look-up